Okay, here's my video for discussion week 4, referencing the TED Talk video on filter bubbles. First off, overall, I thought it was a really interesting video. I thought the kind of concept of the whole video is interesting. I think it's something very prevalent in our life that I personally have never really put any thought into or realized that was happening when it really happens to me every single day. So I'll go ahead and address the questions. So the first question, I do think filter bubbles are bad, personally. The reason is because I feel like if you're only consuming information that what is tailored for you to see or that you choose to see, it's kind of making a closed-minded perspective on life and on information that you're gathering. I also think a big reason it's bad is that in a lot of cases you don't even decide, the closed box kind of perspective that you're putting yourself into. It's really the algorithm that's filtering out information that would give you a different perspective. So I do think it's bad, and closed-mindedness certainly doesn't get you very far in a global economy. So the second question talks about, do you think filter bubbles have gotten bigger or smaller in the last decade? I feel like personally, I think filter bubbles have gotten a lot bigger, mainly because of our own doing. I think that since 2011, filter bubbles have become so comfortable that now on major social media sites we kind of choose to stay in our filter bubbles. So I feel like as a society we're very invested in social media, and we really kind of rely on that type of entertainment and instant gratification. So I think that social media especially, the algorithm doesn't even have to do it for you. You're kind of it's helping you, and then you're choosing to stay in that bubble, if that makes sense. So the algorithm might help you pick certain things, but especially on social media, you pick who to follow, you pick what to see, what to like, what to send to your friends. So I think that especially on social media, which has gotten extremely huge, especially in our generation in the past decade. I think it's just making this filter bubble thing a lot bigger than it has been. So the third question talks about, do you think it is a company's responsibility to show multiple viewpoints of an issue, or whose responsibility is it? I think there's a little bit of both, but I think that the company does have a lot of responsibility to give you the option of whether you want the algorithm to take place and filter out what you see. I think we certainly should have the right to know it's happening, or at least decide whether or not it should happen. So at the very least, if we can't decide whether it's happening, we should at least be warned that it is happening. I think that if we knew that it was happening every time we got on a social media site or every time we were searching information, I think that at least some people would opt not to use it, to keep a better kind of perspective on everything, and not just a box of information that was filtered and tailored for you. So sadly, I do think that most people, my generation, or honestly most people in America, I think would choose to say yes if they had the decision to take the algorithm away, which is sad. I think that we like to stay in our comfort zone and don't like to formulate opinions on other perspectives. So even if we were given the option, I don't even think that most people would opt out of it. So the fourth thing talks about finding a deep web source for kind of unedited research, and kind of unfiltered research that won't be tailored to you, and you can kind of look at just about everything. Something I've been looking into, especially lately due to the coronavirus that's been happening, I look on a website called Springer Nature, and I'll put it right here. For example, they talk about the coronavirus, and it's all unedited data and information. So I know that most big news sites, they withdraw a lot of information that would seem scary, or seem that would cause a lot of hectic information to go through America. And this website kind of edits that out, or actually doesn't edit anything, just so that we're getting truthful information and information that is happening in real time. So give it a look. I'll put it below. And cool. Thanks, guys.